Good morning, folks. Welcome to the show. It is a beautiful Friday morning. You're listening to the Josh Tolley Show. I happen to be your host, Josh Tolley. Lots of stuff going on today. Today's going to be a really, really exciting show. We have a gentleman joining us. His name is Seth Eisenberg. He's from ReduceTheNationalDebt.org. Everybody is upset about the debt. What do we do about it? Well, according to Mr. Eisenberg, why don't we all just pay it and get it over with? Why don't we just ask the general population for contributions? Let's just pay the sucker off and get done with it. Interesting. I'm gonna see the viability of that. There's a couple obvious questions that come to mind. I'm sure there are for you too. But the best part is somebody's willing to do something. And in a society where more people would watch, or more people would be interested in watching Big Brother on Sunday night to see who, wins head of household or whatever they do on Sundays, here's somebody who's actually stepping up and trying to get something accomplished on behalf of the citizens of his nation. So that's good. I'm excited to talk to him. Okay, stay where you're at. We'll be right back with a very interesting conversation. And then we'll pick up the rest of the news afterwards. You're listening to the Josh Tolley Show. Don't go anywhere. Show of hands out there. How many of you like the fact that our nation is over $14 trillion in debt? Well, I don't see any hands. And regardless of the fact that I'm on the radio, even if I could see you, I am sure that I wouldn't see any hands. So what do we do about it? Well, we can leave it to the politicians who created the problem in the first place, or we can just say, you know what, let's just pay it off ourselves and get this over with, and that's exactly what our guest is promoting. His name is Seth Eisenberg. He comes to us from an organization called ReduceTheNationalDebt.org. That's all one word, ReduceTheNationalDebt.org. Mr. Eisenberg, thank you for joining us. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
Well, glad you're here. So tell us a little bit about your organization. Is it true that you think it's possible that just us regular citizens can pay off this $14 trillion?
No, actually, let me just state that right off, Frank.
Good.
No, it's $14 trillion, and that's a lot of money. And so, is it mathematically possible? Yes, but I'm not completely insane. I think that's not the point. What we need to do and what we're trying to do are several things, really. One, we need to pull people together to show that we have a common issue that's affecting all Americans. It doesn't matter if you're Republican, if you're Democrat, you're Tea Party, Communist, it does not matter. The economy is the backbone of this country, and if it goes, so goes everything else with it. So we want to educate people about this and bring them together to show them that, look, we need to come together on this issue. We need to look past the divisiveness and do something about it. So that's kind of stage one. Stage two is, yes, let's do something about it. The Standard & Poor's, we all know, downgraded the U.S. economy, credit rating, and with good reason. We're not being very fiscally responsible, and when we had an opportunity to do so, I'm not so sure that anybody agrees Washington actually did anything productive about it other than make the problem worse. So if they're not going to do anything, then the people are going to have to come together and at least show the world that we can do something. So if we do all pitch in, we're making a statement to our leaders in Washington, to the world, and to the credit rating agencies that, okay, we understand there's a problem, and we're going to do something about it, and we're going to start reducing this debt. And, you have to have a long-term debt reduction plan. It can't just go away overnight. It's impossible. But we need to start somewhere, and apparently it needs to start with us.
Well, I agree. It does need to start with us, and I'm glad to see that you're out there doing something, because like I said in the opening of this show, when people do something, something happens. When you do nothing, nothing happens. So at least there's thoughts going in the right direction. But the obvious question I have is, let's say we even pay off $1 trillion of it. We're still led by the same leaders who created the problem in the first place. So what's keeping them from saying, oh, all right, well then we'll just spend that another $1 trillion?
it's an absolutely valid and important concern, and part of our education process is that this does need to be a multifaceted approach. There is no quick answer to this problem, and people need to be alerted to that. One of my fears is that we had this big show that I call a charade, frankly, about the debt ceiling. That was never an issue, really. I mean, I don't think anyone seriously ever doubted that the Congress is going to raise the debt ceiling to prevent a default. Mm-hmm. What good came out of that is it raised public awareness, perhaps for the first real time, about the severity of the situation. And so people have their eyes open, or at least did for a moment. My fear is now that politicians pulled the wool over people's eyes again, and they think they fixed it and it's going away when they've just done what they've done all along and push it down the road. So we want people to see, as part of our education mission, that yes, we want to unite and do something to start reducing it, but that's not enough. You also have to exercise your right to vote, your right to be heard on these issues, and your right to lead this country and make Washington follow us, not the other way around. And that has to be responsible fiscal legislation, because you're right. I mean, if they're going to continue to just, run deficits in perpetuity, then, we might as well just all give up. But this is a great country, and I, for one, am not willing to give up because this is the greatest country there is. And so I feel an obligation to our nation, to my neighbors and friends and you and everybody else to try something, to do something, to try to lead the way, to bring people together so that we can save this nation from perhaps our politicians.
Well, and what you said is a great point. People have a very short attention span, and this issue brought it to the front of everybody's mind, and what you're doing is keeping it there, and that's why I wanted to have you on, because people in this country do have a remarkably short attention span. So what have you noticed as a response to your effort? Has it been mostly positive or negative, or people just haven't?
We were very positive going into this. We thought, that the idea came to us, and we batted around friends and things, and most of them gave us positive responses. That's a great idea. Somebody needs to wake up and do something. And so we said, you know what, let's go for it, and let's see what's going to happen. And we did, and we got some wonderful media coverage, which obviously helped spread the word so that people could learn about it. And we've gotten a wonderful reaction. There are naysayers for everything. I don't care. We give away free food and someone's going to have something negative to say about it. They're always
right
out there, so we've had some of that. But the support has been overwhelmingly positive. In fact, you can go to our Facebook page and read some of the posts people have put there. We've received emails that are just unbelievably heartfelt and warming. They really can actually bring tears to your eyes, some of these things. People that, show their love for the country, people that are in, like many people in this country have serious economic, financial problems at home, but they believe so much in this country, and they're so concerned for the welfare of their children and their grandchildren that they're giving something up anyway, even a few dollars a month, because they believe in the country and they want to be part of the solution. And we're getting letters from all over the country for that. We've even had people call us and send us letters from other nations, from Germany, Australia, and Canada. People have wrote letters saying, what a great country you have. It's good to see someone's taking the lead. And some of those people have even donated.
Well, that's amazing to have people from another country donate to the debt in ours. That's something right there. How do people find you on Facebook, and of course plug your website again?
Sure. The website is www.reducethenationaldebt.org. So that's all one word. And you can find us on Facebook. It's facebook.com/reducethenationaldebt. If you Google the name of our group, which is the Association to Reduce the National Debt, you'll find us both on our website and or Facebook. And once you get to one spot, it's easy to find the other because we have links going back and forth. But quickly to point out, you raised about the foreign countries. Some people thought I was a little crazy because when I said to them, I don't think this is going to be an issue, going back to our pre-planning stages, I said, I don't think this is going to be an issue that only Americans are interested in. I think this is a global issue. And I think those people responding proved me right, and I'm not just trying to, build up my own ego, but the point is, this is an international issue because, we have the largest economy in the world, and if we go down, we're bringing everybody down with us. And just look what's happening in the European Union and how that's affecting our economy and China's economy and everybody else's economy. This is an international world now. I mean, it's definitely a small world. I hate to use that, but it's true. And so everybody does need to be concerned because they're watching what's happening here, and it's going to affect them too.
So have you heard from any politicians since you started this effort? Because I'm kind of curious what their response would be.
It's varied, and it's very politician-like, as you might suspect. We had a coverage in a newspaper, it was a Gannett newspaper, and the reporter went out to reach out to the politicians. And two of the politicians who have been around for a while basically said, we applaud their creative effort in trying to resolve this problem. It's good to see citizens doing something and getting active. They kind of gave a non-answer.
Well, let's hold it right there because we're on a break right now. So let's hold it right there and we'll pick it up on the other side. So we're talking to Seth Eisenberg from ReduceTheNationalDebt.org, all one word, ReduceTheNationalDebt.org. Fascinating topic, the idea of raising money from private citizens to take a chunk out of the debt. Mr. Eisenberg, did you guys set out with a certain goal in mind, a certain number? Because obviously, like you said, it's pretty much impossible that we raise enough to pay the whole thing off. But did you have a goal set when you started the organization?
Well, we do. Every dollar counts because we look at it this way. Right now, the interest we pay on our national debt is the government's fourth largest expenditure. And to me, that just astounds me. I take a step back, and what else can I say other than, wow? I mean, fourth largest. We have military one, Social Security, Medicare, and interest payments. I mean, so here's money that could be used to, pay salaries for people, rebuild our crumbling infrastructure, develop renewable energy, hire more police, better pay our military. I mean, unbelievable amounts of domestic programs for down to $400 billion a year that we're just paying away on interest. So any amount that we can actually reduce the debt and save that interest money, then hopefully that interest money can better be spent either to further reduce the debt, which saves even more interest money. It's, the reverse of investing, right? The compound effect. Or to apply it to some of those programs I'm talking about. So, even if we only get $1 million per year, 3%, $300,000, that's not nothing. I mean, that's salaries for quite a few people, and I know 10 people who would like jobs. And so, there are a lot of people in this country. We have, over 300 million people. And so if everybody contributed something, we could conceivably raise billions of dollars. And that's not nothing. I understand that the ratio of that to 14 or what's going to be 16 trillion is small, but it still has a significant impact because of the interest savings itself. We're freeing up money that is being, in my opinion, just wasted for something that is actually useful.